What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into the Thursday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault here on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM. And welcome to the refrigerator, the freezer, wherever I might be living here. All this being brought to you by BetMGM. My goodness gracious. Okay, so I told you to fade me yesterday. I hope you took my advice. The only bet I got right wasn't really even my bet. I mean, the yes half a unit for Chad Kuhl, that got me, a half a unit win at minus 140. That's not my bet, by the way, though. That's Cold Brewster's bet. So you could say I'm just tailing somebody else's handicap because that's just one of our great listeners and one of our great members of the Discord channel identified this prop that's now 48-30 on the season, and Chad Kuhl is 10-0. 10-0 to the yes. Pirates scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning against the Rockies, and we cash. That's great. And then the day fell apart. Paul George had, I thought he had 10. I think they took a rebound away from him, and he finished with 9, I think. But I had over 10.5. Either 9 or 10. And then I had Chris Paul over 8.5 assists. And I should have bet Chris Paul to score. He scored 41 points. He blew over his scoring prop. And he missed his assist prop by a half an assist. We missed the over 5 in the hockey game by an inch. 3/4 ice shot, but still, it was an inch or 2 away from going in for an empty net goal that would have made it 4-1, and we would have wound up getting I bet the puck line personally, so I got that right. For, as I said, Tampa on the puck line was probably a good bet. And I was personally on that. Thankfully, saved the bankroll a little bit. But 2 quarter unit losses on the props. The under was never really even close. That game was way over from the get-go. That game was going to be over. So we got that wrong. Yeah, so just and then the over 5 was wrong as well. So just not a good day. And down a unit, not what you want, not by any means. And again, if you had faded me, you went 4-1. And look, you guys have seen me be this cold before. So what happens is I do a couple things. One is I drink. So the Elijah Craig is flowing. 2, I am on vacation. So I can drink a little bit more and I can kind of just, wallow in my sorrows and tell you that when I'm this cold, I shrink. And I pull the reins in. And I bet less. And this is kind of a lesson to anybody else out there. Don't chase. When you aren't seeing the board right, you don't have to bet. I do because it's my job. But I shrink. And I only have 2 plays today. 1 baseball play and one basketball play. And that's it. That's all I've got for today. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm just going to try to find my way here out of the woods. And hopefully we get warm again, and hopefully we turn things around. That's all I can hope for. But in the meantime, if you want to fade me, that's what I'm here for, okay? I'm here to help you make money. If you watch or listen to this podcast and you bet against every play I make, I am not going to be upset about it in the least. Now, don't be a jerk about it. But if you just say, look, hey, Matt, you're so cold, I have to fade your picks, I'm not angry. I've gone 2-8 the last 2 days, okay? That's awful. So if you want to fade my picks for the last, today, tomorrow, for the time I'm on vacation, yeah, I'm not going to be angry at all. I liked those picks a lot yesterday, and it just not a good time, not a good week, and part of it is probably that you start getting yourself ready for vacation, you start getting yourself into mental spots. And maybe you're just making bad bets. I'm making bad bets, but I liked the bets yesterday. I thought we were going to pull out of it. Then we started 1-0, and I was like, ooh, okay, maybe this is the start of the turnaround. And then we just fell apart. It was so bad. Matt Harvey Day. The Orioles beat the Astros again on Matt Harvey Day. That's how wacko things are right now. It's all messed up. It's just all over the place right now when it comes to sports betting. But couple things. I hope you guys appreciate the honesty. I hope you understand that I am never happy with where I am with this. I don't like losing. I don't like the month of June's been bad. Okay, I'm looking forward to turning the page on the month of June. We didn't have one real hot streak where I think the longest winning streak in the month of June was 3 consecutive days. We normally go 4, 5, 6 days of winning at least once a week. Sorry, once a month. We'll have a good stretch, a good hot stretch, a good week. And I don't know if we had really a good week in the month of June. And that's really going to unfortunately tank the whole, where we are. The first 6 months of the Daily Juice was very good. The last 6 months of the Daily Juice, not very good. And unless I get scorching hot for the next week, most likely we're going to wind up down for the year for the first ever year of the Daily Juice. Now, we won't be down a lot, probably 3 or 4 units, but nothing extreme, but still down for the Daily Juice over the course of the entire year. And then we will start over again, and I will reassess my own 1 unit size, and I'll look at my bankroll, and it's taking a beating at the moment, and that's not good when you're like, oh my gosh. You just deal with it and, move on and, try to recalibrate and try to get better. But, little liquid courage and trusting it's going to turn around and trusting that it's we're going to be 53, 54%. That's our goal. And right now we are way lower than that when it comes to where we've been in the month of June, I believe. So just a tough week. And so it's a long way of saying sorry for the picks because they've been really bad, unless you're fading them. And then congratulations, I'm making you money and then I'm happy. So do what you want with the picks here today with the 2 picks I've got for you guys. But first, reminder on the Giannis Antetokounmpo basketball. This is the last day to register for it. We will pull a name July 2nd, 3rd, somewhere in that range. So if you've not left a review, you can tell everybody how great I'm doing on the review on Apple or Stitcher. Take that screenshot, drop it in to bettingpros.com/juice, bettingpros.com/juice. Drop it in, and you guys will be entered into the drawing for the autographed Giannis Antetokounmpo basketball, rather. Did I say jersey? I meant basketball. Excuse me. Giannis Antetokounmpo signed basketball. Jersey was Shaq last month. Basketball this month. Giannis signed basketball is this month for the month of June. So if you've not done that, your last call to get in to the contest, free to enter, positive, negative review, whatever you want to do, just screenshot it, drop it in, we'll pull the name, and we'll hopefully award it to somebody in the United States. No offense, Canada. I think you've won the last 2. And then we'll get somebody hopefully who's a big Bucks fan who wants that Giannis Antetokounmpo signed basketball. So that's the giveaway coming up for this month. Okay, speaking of Giannis, he is out of this game. There's no way he's playing. No structural damage, but there's no way this dude's playing in Game 5 tonight at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young might play. And just the fact that Trae Young might play or may attempt to play is really driving me as to why I am taking Atlanta +2 here to win this game. And if you're a Bucks fan, I apologize. But here is my handicap for this game. If you take Giannis off the Bucks and he's not playing, you're now elevating and bumping everybody else up. So Chris Middleton's got to become your number 1 scorer now, okay? Chris Middleton's got to go off. Chris Middleton's making $33 million a year. Do you think Chris Middleton goes for 40 points? I don't. And since I don't, you look at all the other players for where the Bucks are, and you could say, all right, if you were drafting, if you put both rosters together and you were drafting the 2 teams, you would take Chris Middleton, take Giannis and take Trae Young out of the equation, okay? Just the guys, not Giannis and not Trae Young. You would take Chris Middleton first, right? And then you would probably think hard as to who you would take next. But maybe you say, okay, you might take Jrue Holiday. Okay, so maybe you say, I want Jrue Holiday. I'll take Middleton first, then Jrue Holiday. How long would you have to go through the Bucks through the Falcons, through the Hawks roster before you got to the next Bucks player? 6? 7? They're just deeper. I mean, Bogdanovich is playing great. The knee looks great. Clint Capella's been phenomenal. He's been tremendous. You've got Gallinari off the bench. You got Lou Williams off the bench. I just think the Bucks, without Giannis, everything changes. Everything changes. And I know at home the role players play better. They shoot better. Maybe PJ Tucker shoots better. But they don't have enough depth. They need Giannis. Everything revolves around Giannis. I just think Atlanta's the deeper team. They've got more weapons, and that's without Trae Young. Now you put Trae Young back in, and he plays. Oh, boy. They win this game potentially outright. I got 2 points. I think it's a pick, but I got 2 points here with Atlanta. Again, fade this. Take the Bucks. If you're a Buck fan, you should like me being on the side of Atlanta, but I'm going to take Atlanta here at +2, simply based on the depth, simply based on they're a better team, and the possibility that Trae Young could play in this game for Game 5. I know everyone's going to be jacked up and excited, but I don't think Giannis is playing, and for that reason, I don't trust Chris Middleton. I just don't. I know he shoots better at home. I get it, and everyone does. I just don't think putting him in the A spot as the alpha, I don't see a Paul George type of performance. I've been wrong. I've been wrong a lot the last couple of weeks. Maybe he does. Maybe he just goes off. But I'm taking Atlanta +2. They're a more fun team to root for anyway, but I'm taking Atlanta +2 here against Milwaukee with the possibility that Trae Young plays, because I'm pretty confident that Giannis is not going to play, and if he does, it's going to be, he'll be pretty ineffective, I think, given that knee. Why risk it? You can't risk him. He's worth too much to your franchise to put him out there on a bulky knee and then watch him blow his whole entire knee out and be out for a long time. So Atlanta +2, half a unit, first play. Second play to baseball. I tend to do this from time to time. When a team goes and eviscerates the other team, I tend to come back and bet the under on the other side, and I'll take the dog, or take the team that got wrecked. The Atlanta Braves scored 20 runs against the Mets yesterday. They went 20-2. That's what the final score. Mets lost 20-2 yesterday, and I mean that's just a loss. I mean that's just one of those games where you're like, wait, what happened? How do you give up that many runs? It's a ridiculous score, 20-2. And so, I mean, they blasted them. Albies had 2 home runs, drove in 7. It's Jacob deGrom day. What Jacob deGrom is doing right now is unreal. 7-2 with a .69 ERA, a .53 WHIP. 122 strikeouts to 11 walks. I mean, what? It's -160 on the money line. I'm searching, guys. I'm searching. I'm trying to find some solace here. Under 6.5 is a good play, but Ian Anderson might get wrecked by the Mets, so I'm not going near that. I'm just taking the Mets, and I pray their bullpen doesn't blow this for me. I'm just taking the Mets on the money line. -160. Jacob deGrom day, following a 20-2 beatdown that the Mets come back. Braves do not hit well the next day. It's kind of one of those like funky, quirky things that I go ahead and bet against a team that scores a ton of runs the game before. It's the 1st of July. Let's turn the page. Let's start off with a 2-0 day, hopefully. I'm not doing player props today, okay? I have a ton of things to do. As I mentioned, I'm probably going to be taping the podcast on Thursday for Friday. I will be taping it pretty early. I'll have the Don't Bet a Parlay. I'll have it out pretty early because we are leaving very early on Friday morning and heading over to Temecula, California. So we got a bunch of things lined up that we got to do. So I won't be able to wait probably until the end of the Bucks game to tape it, but we'll be asleep early, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, up around 5, and then heading on out. So I will be taping it a little bit earlier than I normally would do. So that's why no player props, because I won't know how the day does. And frankly, I need to stop the player props for a couple of days anyway. So the lines are just so sharp. It's so crazy. So we'll go with that. All right. So just 2 plays, half a unit each, 1 unit in play. Mets -160 on the money line. Atlanta +2 at -110 for Game 5 against Milwaukee. And boy, it's just one of those things. So, cheers. I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for listening to the Daily Juice. We are almost at our 1-year anniversary. I wish it was a happier time right now, but it's just not. It will change, though. We will turn things around. I feel good. At some point, we will bounce back. Turning the calendar might very well do it for us. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice podcast right here on BettingPros.com. Brought to you by BetMGM.